So I'm John Wesonga, Associate Professor in the Department of Horticulture and Food Security, where I teach various courses and supervise students and do some of my research. So when we talk about climate smart agriculture, commonly referred to as CSA, we are talking about climate agriculture that is responsive to the climate. And we know that the climate is changing in terms of rainfall patterns are changing. We have rising temperature. And so when we talk about climate smart agriculture, we are looking at that agriculture that is able to respond to those changes, so we can still grow crops or rear animals with just the changing climate. So as I've said, climate change mainly involves changes in rainfall patterns. Many times it is drought, so we have a shortage of rain. And so if we have shortage of rain, of course, most of the agriculture in Kenya is rain-fed. So when we have a shortage of rain, then we have crop losses, total crop losses, sometimes reduced yields. We also have problems of high temperatures. Most of the crops are only produced within certain temperature ranges. So when the temperatures exceed certain levels, then you have also problems. The yields are affected. For example, tomatoes, when temperatures are too high, the tomatoes usually cannot produce fruit, or the fruits usually don't ripen very well. Then we have the other problem of pest outbreaks. We have more pests because of the changing climate. We have new pests that are emerging, and all those are affecting food security. And in Kenya, we have experienced these things. My primary focus is really on addressing water issues, because that is one of the biggest challenges. For your information, Kenya is classified as a water deficit country. We get about, usually the standard is that you should have 1,000 liters of water per capita, that's per human being, per year. But in Kenya we get around maybe 360, which is around 30%. So it's really low. So my focus is really to deal with the water shortage. So I work on water saving technologies, specifically capillary wick irrigation system. And then we also look at other farming systems, simplified farming systems that can be adopted in places where there is limited land and space. So far we have, through the work we have been doing, we have been able to demonstrate that we can save up to over 60% water when we use the capillary wick irrigation system. This was done in one of the students doing his master's. He was able to determine that. And then based on this, we have tried to develop the capillary wick to be used in various places. Yeah, of course, key things is, I think, for institutions is one is support innovations, continued innovations that respond to the changing climate. So we need both policy, financial support to be able to support these innovations from being generated, support scientists working in these areas. We also need support for adoption of the technologies that are already working. We need to support capacity building in the areas of use of this technology. So for example, I'm working very closely with the young people, students, and of course other young people that are not necessarily our students. And the idea is to try to build their capacity in using some of these water saving technology, developing them, fabricating systems, and then making them available to the farmer. So what I would expect is institutions and policymakers would come in to provide the supportive environment to be able to develop and roll out these technologies.
I'm Musa Juma Musa. My role in JKUAT in Department of Horticulture, I'm working on capillary wick adoption, and I'm helping Professor Wesonga on the research, and we have successfully managed to come up with different techniques and technologies concerning capillary wick irrigation system. I first came across this capillary wick irrigation system in 2006, where I've learned this capillary wick irrigation through JKUAT, and with some exhibition in the showgrounds, whereby I learned more about capillary wick irrigation, and I uptake it and to see how I can help the farmers concerning what the role I was doing in agriculture. First, I was transferred to Somalia, where you find that there is difficulties in farming, there is challenges in farming, no soil, proper techniques of farming. That's the time where I decided to come up with this technology of capillary irrigation system in 2012 and 2013 in Somalia, Galgaduud region, where I did some few samples, and the project was successful, and we also did this capillary wick irrigation system in Kakuma refugee camp with the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, at Kalobie settlement in 300 household, where it was successful and it's still working up to date. And in other parts we have done it with the JKUAT in Marsabit, Maikona, Isiolo, Archers Post. We've done it in Kilifi, and the project is doing very well. A few advantages of capillary wick irrigation system is that it's a no tillage farming. It requires less labor after installation. It requires less water, like 1 meter by 6 meter area. 20 liters of water or 40 liters of water can sustain it for almost a month without adding water.
I'm Esther Wanjiro Ireri, a second year pursuing BSc Horticulture at JKUAT University, and I'm also a HOSA member. I joined HOSA when I was in 1.1, when I was actually very new in JKUAT, and I can say it was a good experience since I got to interact with the 4th year members who were actually before me, and they were doing the same course and they were in the same field. I came to this course knowing very little about it, because I actually thought it was all about flowers and vegetables, but I came to realize that there is more. There are so many projects that were done there, and I came to realize that it is a nice experience doing this course and being a HOSA member, because you get to know more about the course that you are taking. And yeah, there are so many opportunities. It is not only working in the flower farms or in the vegetable farms. It is a nice experience so far.
What I see is that moving into the future, of course, we have to change our way of farming. One is, I think, especially in Kenya, we have to move out of rain-fed agriculture. We have to look for irrigated production. But also the other, of course, challenge besides the climate change is that we have a serious urbanization. It's estimated that by the year 2050, 70% of the people will be living in urban areas. So that means that we have to start thinking whether we can use the current systems to produce food for the future, or we should be embracing more urban farming, circular economies, circular agriculture, so that we are able to address both the challenge of producing food but also managing waste. Let's work together. We need to work together to be able to address these problems. The problems are big, but if we work together, we can be able to achieve. I think in my team, we believe that we can grow food in impossible places. We can basically convert any place into a farm and produce food. So I think maybe I can borrow from other people who have said, I think we are unlimited in terms of what we can do to produce food. Jomo Kenyatta offers a great opportunity where we as scientists, researchers can meet and discuss some of the issues that are affecting us. And therefore, one of them is our conference that is coming forward. I would like to encourage all the scientists, students to come. It will be a great opportunity to get to know what other scientists are doing. It will also be a great opportunity to see some of the innovations, because we have an exhibition. And if you have other ideas yourself, either for exhibition or sharing your scientific work, this would be a great opportunity. So welcome to our scientific conference, and we look forward to receiving you.